age, young men and women were afraid of each other. There was no good fellowship, nothing real. Only gallantry copied out of novels and as vulgar and affected as it could be. Maidenly reserve, gentlemanly chivalry, always saying no when you meant yes. Simple purgatory for shy and sincere souls.
Yes, I imagine there must have been a frightful waste of time, especially women's time.
Oh, waste of life. Waste of everything. But things are improving. Do you know, I've been in a positive state of excitement about meeting you ever since your magnificent achievements at Cambridge, a thing unheard of in my day. It was perfectly splendid, your tying with Third Wrangler. Just the right place, you know.
It doesn't pay. I wouldn't do it again for the same money.
The same money?
I did it for £50.
£50?
Yes, £50. Oh, perhaps you don't know how it was. Mrs. Latham, my tutor at Newnham, told my mother that I could distinguish myself in the mathematical tripos if I went in for it in earnest. The papers were full just then of Philippa Summers beating the senior wrangler. You remember about it, of course.
Yes.
Well, anyhow, she did. And nothing would please my mother but that I should do the same thing. I said flatly it was not worth my while to face the grind since I was not going in for teaching. But I offered to try for fourth wrangler or thereabouts for £50. She closed with me at that after a little grumbling. I was better than my bargain. But I wouldn't do it again for that. 200 would have been nearer the mark.
Lord bless me, that's a very practical way of looking at it.
Oh, did you expect to find me an unpractical person?
But surely it's practical to consider not only the work these honours cost, but also the culture they bring.
Culture? My dear Mr. Praed, do you know what the mathematical tripos means? It means grind, grind, grind for 6 to 8 hours a day at mathematics and nothing but mathematics. Now, I'm supposed to know something about science, but I know nothing except the mathematics it involves. I can make calculations for engineers, electricians, insurance companies, and so on. But I know nothing about engineering or electricity or insurance. I don't even know arithmetic well. Outside mathematics, lawn tennis, eating, sleeping, cycling, and walking, I'm more of an ignorant barbarian than any woman could possibly be who hadn't gone in for the tripos.
What a monstrous, wicked, rascally system. I knew it. I felt at once that it meant destroying all that makes womanhood beautiful.
I don't object to it on that score in the least. I shall turn it to very good account, I assure you.
Oh, in what way?
I shall set up chambers in the city and work at actuarial calculations and conveyancing. Under cover of that, I shall do some law, with one eye on the stock exchange all the time. I've come down here by myself to read law, not for a holiday, as my mother imagines. I hate holidays.
You make my blood run cold. Are you to have no romance, no beauty in your life?
No, I don't care for either, I assure you.
Oh, you can't mean that.
Oh, yes, I do. I like working and getting paid for it. When I'm tired of working, I like a comfortable chair, a cigar, a little whiskey, and a novel with a good detective story in it.
I don't believe it. I am an artist. I can't believe it. I refuse to believe it. It's only that you haven't discovered yet what a wonderful world art can open up to you.
Yes, I have. Last May, I spent 6 weeks in London with Honoria Fraser. Mamma thought we were doing a round of sightseeing together, but I was really at Honoria Chambers in Chancery Lane every day, working away at actuarial calculations for her and helping her as well as a greenhorn could. In the evenings, we smoked and talked, and I never dreamt of going out, except for exercise. And I never enjoyed myself more in my life. I cleared all my expenses and got initiated into the business without a fee into the bargain.
But bless my heart and soul, Miss Warren, do you call that discovering art?
No, wait a bit. That wasn't the beginning. I went up to town on an invitation from some artistic people in Fitzjohn's Avenue. One of the girls was a Newnham chum. They took me to the National Gallery.
Ah.
And to the opera.
Good.
And to a concert where the band played all the evening Beethoven and Wagner and so on. Oh, I wouldn't go through that experience again for anything you could offer me. I held out for civility's sake until the third day. And then I said plump out that I couldn't stand any more of it, and I went off to Chancery Lane. Now you know the sort of perfectly splendid modern young lady I am. How do you think I shall get home with my mother?
Well, I hope...
It's not so much what you hope as what you believe that I want to know.
Well, frankly, I'm afraid your mother will be a little disappointed. Not from any shortcoming on your part, you know. I don't mean that, but you are so different from her ideal.
Her what?
Her ideal.
Do you mean her ideal of me?
Yes.
What on earth is it like?
Well, you must have observed, Miss Warren, that people who are dissatisfied with their own bringing up generally think that the world would be all right if everybody were to be brought up quite differently. Now, your mother's life has been...